normal.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation,
hospital services,
our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison.
As of 2017, 6 major conglomerates lorded over mainstream media, be it broadcast, print, internet, radio, or film. Very little existed outside of their umbrellas. The big 6 at the time were Time Warner, Comcast, Disney, Sony, Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, and National Amusements, now Paramount Global. It is a stretch to call these companies competitors per se, as even these umbrella companies are all mutually owned by the world's largest institutional investors, asset managers like BlackRock Inc., the Vanguard Group, State Street, and Berkshire Hathaway, whose representatives share mutual agendas and remain regular fixtures in various globalist think tanks.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. What we are doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted, okay?
We're doing the same thing.
And so it's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said. And ultimately, it's still going to take time, but I am just as much shocked as Ken is that we have not seen more opportunities, and we're going to have to force change.
BlackRock in particular exercises tremendous financial power through an array of social, environmental, and economic policy frameworks. BlackRock and their so-called competitors mutually enforce the will and agendas of the international think tank class onto the entirety of the corporate world. The big 6 media companies, despite public perceptions, are just components of one quasi-monopolistic, centralized system of systems.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
At least on paper, the primary mandate of a free press is to act as a counterbalance, to keep rampant establishment powers in check. However, the press in modernity is not only failing in its role of keeping the establishment in check, the press routinely and proactively defends the establishment through illusion, omission, and gaslighting. From CIA smuggling to the creation of ISIS to the countless US-backed regime changes worldwide, these topics are well known and discussed throughout the developing world, yet the average American or news anchor refuses to touch them.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
The role of the press in our society is crucial to the population's discernment between truth and fiction. If a nation was to be subverted from within, the press would undoubtedly be the primary weapon leveraged by its adversaries. And this is exactly our current predicament. As a